Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. I'm Terry Flewis. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Saturday. It's not even Saturday evening, it is Saturday night. We are watching Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester City in the English Premier League. The score is currently 2-1 to Man City. And what an interesting first half of football. We're going to discuss that in a few moments with you. Before we crack on talking about the old football, please download the One Football app, our title sponsors of FanPark Live. All their information is in the description below. So thank you very much for doing that. We also want to take your calls on 0203 606 0315. But yeah, as I say, a very interesting first half of football. There's something beeping in here. I'm not sure what's beeping. There's an alarm clock going off in the studio. Yeah, so as a fan watching, City dominated the opening proceedings, absolutely no doubt. They beat the limited press that we saw from Spurs in the opening sort of 20-25 minutes. And if you'd have looked at the statistics on the One Football app, only 2 shots on goal, 0 on target from Tottenham in the opening 30 minutes. And you were looking at this game thinking, well, City, they've got over the voodoo of playing Manchester United last week and losing. Obviously, the disappointing Champions League defeat for them as well. City looked very good for their 2-0 lead after a penalty. 100%, well, I say 100% penalty, but definitely a foul. It's debatable whether it was in or out of the box, but well taken by Gundogan. And obviously, a long ball over the top from a Pep Guardiola side, and Gabriel Jesus puts City into the lead with that, and they were value for it, no doubt about it. Spurs were not in the game. You saw nothing from Eriksen. Harry Kane was on the peripheral of the game. Eric Lamela, not much from him. And Dele Alli, I wasn't even sure if he was playing. But the last 15 minutes of that second half, you saw Spurs press better. They were better in possession. There was more confidence. Suddenly, you started to see the same defensive frailties with the City team that we saw against Liverpool, we saw against Manchester United. So it's certainly going to be an interesting second half of football that I'm looking forward to. I'm ready to take some of your calls though. I want to see what you guys out there watching this game across the country and across the world have to say. And before a call's ready, I might do a few. Let's do a few of the live comments on here. First of all, it's from Ashwin, who says Pep's a money gambling. I'm not going to use that word, but it begins with H, W and H. Pep's a, oh, it's all he's singing, 500 million, and he needs more. He's singing a song. That's what he's doing. Yeah, I'm ready for the calls now, Abs. Let's put the calls through. Calls coming. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Kieran. How you doing, Terry?
Hello, Kieran. I'm very well, mate. What's your thoughts on this first half of football between City and Spurs?
The City definitely, I think, dominated the opening of this match. Obviously, going 2-0 up. The penalty, I'm one of those people that doesn't believe a penalty is a full goal, because it's one of those you just sort of get a one-on-one shot and it's more likely going to go in.
What do you mean it's not a full goal?
So you put the pressure on, I get that one, and it forces the other team to give their penalty away. But I'm a believer that the penalty is very much a one-on-one shot.
Yeah, you don't have to believe it's a one-on-one shot. It is. But what do you mean it's worth half a goal? Could you explain that to everybody watching that's now confused?
As in, like, because when you score a penalty,
you only get half a goal, or do you get a full goal? What does the scoreline say?
Yeah, obviously it's a full goal that's given.
Okay, so why do you view it as half a goal? Who's taught you that? Is that
no one's taught me that. It's one of my views.
But you can't.
Even as an Arsenal fan, when Arsenal get penalties, I don't like when we get penalties. I'd rather us get the goal in open play. Yeah,
but the reason that you don't get that goal in open play is because somebody fouled you in the process to that goal.
Yeah.
Like, we'd all like not to get our house burgled, but when you do get burgled, you want the police to go and catch them and put them in prison. You know, ideally, you wouldn't want to be burgled. You don't want a penalty, you want to score the goal. But you get it because you've been impeded getting a goal. It counts as a full goal. But why do you view it as half a goal? So if Arsenal win tomorrow 2-1, but they score a penalty, you'll only... in your mind, it's 1.5 to 1 goal. You count as 1.5 goals.
No, I count it as a full goal, but I don't personally believe that gives the message out that you've got the goal in open play fully, making a nice move. obviously I understand that a foul's been made in the process building up to that, but it's just that, in my opinion, in my head, it doesn't come through to me as it being a full goal, just because of the open play.
I actually, what I hear people debate when two people are neck and neck for top goal scorer, and people will say, well, he scored 10 penalties, he's only got 2, so so the man with less penalty goals is better. But I've never actually heard anybody explain it in the way you have. Look, really do appreciate your call, mate. Thank you very much as ever for coming on. I'm a bit confused. We're going to go to the OneFootball app to see how many half goals have been scored. I'm sorry, it's a laugh, but maybe that's a generational thing. Maybe I don't know. Younger viewers out there, let me know. I'm really confused. Let's have a little look here anyway. You can see there the goals. Christian Eriksen actually got Spurs' goal, but does that count as Christian Eriksen's goal, or is it Harry Kane's? I'm not sure whose goal that actually was. Let's have a look at some of the statistical breakdown, the stats. What's interesting as well, again, I mentioned at the top of this live stream that around about the 30-minute mark, City had 60% of the ball. Spurs had only had 2 shots on goal. The last 15 minutes saw that change. A bigger increase in possession from Spurs. They were better with the ball. Their passing improved, and you can see there they had another couple of shots, one of which was on target that went in. City have still been the most dominant side, and we know that. However, they have died a death in their last 3 games in the second half. Away at Anfield, they were non-impactful. Against Manchester United in the derby, they were really, really poor, and they died at the Etihad just a few days ago in the Champions League. So it will be really interesting to see. I'm really interested to see the reaction from these City players in the second half at Wembley. But make sure you get this app downloaded. You can check out more of the statistics on there. And I'll show you before we take another call. All the breaking news today. There you see Wolverhampton Wanderers promoted into the Premier League. Liverpool winning 3-0 today. Oh, look at this. Barcelona set new La Liga record with unbeaten games. I didn't know that, but you can find it out all on the OneFootball app there. We have another caller, I believe. Are they coming through? Oh, there they are. Hello, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order, please?
Hello, yes. This is Double from Middlesbrough, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks.
Good. Give us your thoughts on this first half of football between Spurs and Manchester City.
As a United fan, I'd normally want City to lose, but to be honest, Man City have been the better team in this first half. You know, deservedly went in front. Bit of a daft decision from Spurs to leave Jesus free open on goal when you know what the consequences are going to be if you do that.
Yeah.
The penalty incident, honestly, I'm looking at the replays about 3-4 times. I don't think it's a penalty. I think Martin Atkinson's got the decision wrong. I actually think it's a free kick on the edge of the box, but that's the thing with referees these days. They make a lot of use of decisions. I actually think it'd be useful if they did bring VAR into the thing, but of course, Premier League clubs have gone against it, so, you know.
No, I understand that. And I want to ask you a question. Kieran spoke a little earlier and he said that penalties only count for half a goal. They're not, in his mind, they're only half a goal. Do you agree with that opinion of that young man?
No. No, definitely not. If a penalty is a penalty, if it goes in, then it's a goal. So, mainly, I can probably think of the reason why he said it's probably half. Probably because you get there's half a chance of scoring a penalty. You got 50% chance of scoring, 50% of missing it. But you know,
I don't think that's what he meant, to be honest.
Would score.
But yeah, I'm going to ask a few people of this because I've never heard anybody articulate themselves in such a way regarding penalty goals. I mean, what about free kicks though? Because free kicks are even harder. And
yeah,
I don't know. Then you could say set piece goals don't count. So you could literally take out penalties. Free kick, direct free kick goals. I mean, headers from corners, do they count? Because obviously the defender, all he did was put his head on the ball. He didn't do anything in the build-up. There was no great play. It was a corner. So I don't know now. Maybe we've got to change, maybe like only goals from open play count as goals, and all the others, they, you know, like in, is it Gaelic football in Ireland? It's like you get a goal for putting it into the actual goal, and then you get like half points for kicking it over. Maybe there should be half points for all the goals. I don't know how we're going to check. We've got to change football now because youngsters don't think penalties are goals. Mate, really appreciate your call. Thank you very much, Dal. Top man, thank you very, very much. Yeah, people are saying this. Wolves would be interesting in the Premier League. Wolves are going to be very, very interested in the Premier League. Amazing owner. Great connection with Jorge Mendes. And don't forget Nuno Santo. An amazing, amazing young manager. Not sort of spoken about in the same ilk as other young and up-and-coming managers. But he has the ability to be something very, very special, that young man. He really does. Let's go through some of the old comments on here. Issa Ahmed says, if you win by a penalty, you get 2 points. I mean, yeah, that's it. Can you imagine? Yeah, you win 2-1, but it was a penalty, so you don't get full 3 points. Maybe this is something we can do. Tell us what you would change in football. Penalties and goals from any type of set piece, they don't count as full goals. How do you quantify that in football? Do you just give 2 points for a victory when you score a penalty or from a free kick? Or do we do something else? Let's go. Next thing you know, if you score a banger, it counts as 2 goals. Yeah, Liam, that's great. Can you imagine? If you score a screamer from more than 25 yards out, it counts as 2. So you're 1-0 down, you score a screamer and you're suddenly 2-1 up. We're changing football here. We are breaking new ground, FanPark Live audience. Yeah, a great point. Abs just said there in the control room, right? Ronaldo's goal against Juventus the other night, 94 plus minutes on the clock, all that pressure, he has to score. Everyone expects him to score. Last minute of the game, to knock out their opponents and to qualify for the semi-finals of the Champions League. How is there no pressure on that? How does that count as half a goal? Can you imagine he scores and they went, it's only half a goal and you have to be in front by 1 clear goal? It's stupid. There we go. Man like Terry repping Gaelic football. This is why Terry is the GOAT. Thank you, Charlie. There we go. I've only ever been called a GOAT one time before. And I appreciate it. For being such an elderly gentleman for the YouTube spectrum, to be called a GOAT is brilliant. An old GOAT would make me even happier. It really would. There we go. Let's do a few more of these comments before we go back to the game. Terry, do you agree that look weak after they conceded? Do I agree that City looked weak after they conceded? I think you mean. Yes, they did. They looked a little bit vulnerable. And that's kind of how they've been for the last week or so. And I think if you get at this team, if you press them higher, if you can make them uncomfortable, you can get under their skin. And Spurs really came back into this game with a few nasty tackles, a little bit of ags, a bit of angst, a bit of aggravation. Sometimes you need that in football. It's what it's built on. It depends on what sort of goat he's talking about. I don't think he means like, you know, arms and a little bloody tough under rear, like a little billy goat and little hooves and stuff. As if this guy reads the comments before and after mine, but just aired me. That's from Black Santa. I don't quite understand what you... It's not brilliant grammar, but okay. What was that? I'm sorry, mate? Is that what it means? Oh, I'm the greatest. Oh, my God. That's the biggest compliment I've ever been given.
That's what GOAT means.
The only other time I got a compliment that good is when she came back for seconds. That's do you know what? I say, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been with a partner, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, they come back for more another day, that means you were decent. That means you were decent. Take that to the grave with you. That's a life lesson. Terry, can you start doing watch-alongs? Watch this space, mofo. Watch this space. Terry, you always say that if you have a good point, then back it up. But what happens if you are someone like Ty and completely deluded? Look, I'm going to have Ty on the show again. I'm going to keep pushing Ty to explain himself and make us understand his viewpoints. It's down to him if he doesn't want to give them. But for me, I agree with you. It's why I said to him on the air the other night, he's coming across as deluded. And it's why I told him to shut up at some point, because he wasn't backing up anything he had to say. He was backing up nothing. Oh, excuse my grammar, pal. I'm just super proud that you're actually reading out one of my comments after all these years. Well, Black Santa, there's 2 comments in one show, me old mucker. Just for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Did you and Ty fight the other day after you almost made him cry? I ain't gonna fight with him. The man's this big. I'd never fight with a man this big. Like, no matter what he did. He'd have to, like, toe punt my son Archie in the face. Maybe then Give him a bit of a dry. Other than he's little. Ty's only this big. I don't have a fight with him. That laugh is the best thing in my life. I love about my laugh. I love how people think it's fake. There we go. But the second half has now begun, ladies and gentlemen. Go and enjoy the soccer ball match. I'll be back in 45 minutes, so you all take care. God bless. Before you do that, though, download the OneFootball app. Get that stuff on your phone. Get it done by the time we get back. All the best. Buongiorno. See you later.